Good morning, this fine Monday morning. I've said it a lot this last 6 months, what a feeling it is waking up to be a Rangers fan, and I tell you what, this morning it just gone up a level. Yesterday was a huge day, and I would even go as far to say our history, certainly our modern history. I think a tide turned yesterday. Before the game, we said, take care of business, TCB, just do our own thing, win, and the rest falls into place. The vast majority of us said the game through in Edinburgh, a draw would do as well, and that's exactly what happened. And boy, did we respond! One of the most important things that's happening right now is this: this shirt is not heavy for these players; they're up to the task, and that's the most important thing I've seen since the Celtic game, that second half, because the biggest complaint we had, and it was this shirt's too heavy for these players. Not anymore. They've proven they're up for the fight. Yesterday was scrappy, and a lot of that was down to Dundee. That's a good football team. Stevie Presley's got them playing well. They knew how to handle us. They kind of had our number when it came to us coming forward. They didn't. Up front, Dundee offered very little. But they did well, and something Mikey Moore didn't have his best game yesterday, but you watch it back, watch the thing. Dundee had 3 players on him at times. As soon as he got the ball, because they know how dangerous he is. And what if you're ever going to show somebody what winning ugly looks like? Boom, that was winning ugly. There was heart there, there was desire. They worked hard. They knew, and their players know they didn't have their best games ever, but it didn't matter. They tried. They left everything on the pitch yesterday, and they never ever gave up. That lot went 1-0 up quite early, and I thought, well, that's him, got it. But then apparently there's a dodgy sending off. I don't care. I hope it's dodgy. Excuse me, I hope it's dodgy. The Jambos pulled one back. The game finished 2 each, and certainly when it went to 2 each, you heard Ibrox. I didn't know that it was watching it that I heard it was clear what had happened. Looked at the phone, 2 each, and the players responded too. Now, going back to the start of the game, we didn't the first 40 minutes, 35 minutes, we weren't that good, but then they stepped up. And from what I believe, obviously in the telly you don't see it, Danny was very animated at the sidelines. And we saw in his interview after the game, the first part of the interview, you could see he wasn't the jovial Danny. I think he wasn't satisfied with the performance. Well, he wasn't. He said that in his own way. He's not a person that's going to chastise the players in a bad way publicly. But then, as the presser went on, he got more the Danny we all love. Olsen to Chukwani. Remember the goal that was chopped off in the first half, the header? That was a great setup. That was a great action. Short corner by Olsen. Then he played it, swung it in, and the goal. Okay, it was chopped off, but it shows what's happening. It shows he's buying into Rangers quite quickly with the set piece coach, Scotty. He didn't have his best game, Olsen. That's fine. It's his first game, and nobody will be more disappointed than him. Chukwani, we see what we've got there, and he's only going to get better. The recruitment staff, brilliant. When we went in at half time, I didn't feel nervous. I wasn't apprehensive, because I know we've got a manager now that can sort it, to put it in a layman, at half time, and he did. They came out the second, and it was still scrappy at times, but there was a desire there, there was a push, there was a want, they worked hard. And now that back line, we've got Tav, Magoma, Fernandez, Deja. They played well yesterday. Young Magoma, he's reminded me of a Stuart Monroe. I mean, I didn't really during the game. I don't really notice him as such, and that's a good thing for a defender, because he's doing his job. And Danny praised him in his presser, and rightly so. That's a young man. He's 18. Remember, he's 18. He's playing in front of that crowd, and he's doing well. And he's got a shot on him as well now and again. Big Fernandez, he's a modern day Marvin Andrews type, just a big confident football player. And he gets that overhead kick as well. I just laughed at that in a good way. He's got an arrogance, a confidence about him, and he can play a bit of football and all. There was times yesterday during the game you're like, get rid. You know, Jack had a couple as well, but that's Jack. We're not going to change Jack. And I love Jack. You know, he's one of our senior pros, and he'll have a big part to play in that dressing room as well. He'll be a leader in that dressing room. And the gaffer talked about Bailey Rice. I can't remember what journal asked him, but he's asked him if he's got a big future at Rangers. And he didn't say he has. He basically said, "Well, we're looking at him," but that was him just because Danny's not the. He won't doesn't want to put pressure on a young man saying he's a future of Rangers or something like that, because that's a big weight for a young guy. But I think he has got a future. He's had a big injury, so we need to take care of the kid. Ibrox in my live stream last night, a live podcast with the squad. There was lots of comments about how good Ibrox was because when we're watching the Sky, they do turn the volume down. But we heard it when the goal went in across in Edinburgh, across the M8. It was brilliant. It was, and the crowd stayed. And Danny mentioned that as well. Listen, if you're going to Ibrox, I understand some people will need to leave early, but stay to the end because the players need you. And you saw our two final goals were in the last few minutes of the game. Brilliant. It's just you're like that. Get in, because when I woke up this morning, it was feet straight in the ground on the phone. I didn't even because normally I'm probably like a lot of people. Normally I scroll through in the bed, but I just got up straight onto the table like that, phone open, iPad open, just reading all the comments and all the watching the various podcasts, and it's a nice feeling. We've said before it could be a helicopter Sunday scenario. I think we'll win it before that. I think they'll win it before that because there's a lot of pressure on the other teams. Let's be honest, Hearts have lost a couple of players, big game players, and they get a draw. That's no bad. Here's a cat coming as usual. She's seen me. She's staring up at me. It's you coming up. Uh, she's there. That was so. That serves me right. But there's a lot of pressure on that lot in the green third of Glasgow now. A lot of pressure on them. I'm not going to. I've not watched any of their social media stuff. I saw one last night how Chris Boyd caused the sending off. Not sure how that works, but there we go. But yesterday, as a slight off Rangers topic, I was at a big charity do yesterday with my friend Big Marcus Redwood. You'll have seen in podcasts. He's a real interesting guy. So him and his lovely wife took 400 to 500 orphans to the beach yesterday. So I went there and filmed with him and did a podcast with Marcus. So I'm going to be it's going to be a big edit. I'm quite nervous about it because it's important to Marcus. But I will post it on the page of the YouTube link. So I'll say to you later on once it's done. It's going to take a few days to do, but I would like it if he's got involved. I'll put a picture of Marcus's Facebook on now and a couple of pictures as you see. So I know you guys are good people, and this is a good guy. I met some real interesting characters. I'll tell you yesterday, London chaps that are interesting, really nice guys to me. Anyway, moving on, Rangers. So you get into work the day and you've got that Vince McMahon walk. It's wonderful. It's this is how it feels. This is a feeling we deserved. And I'm sitting here now, and it just gives you such a big lift, doesn't it? You're like, yes, there's something happening here. And I think Danny's alluded to we're getting a number 9 in. So what's the date today? My battery's running out my phone and my watch. I think we'll get 5 days left of the transfer window. People will be coming in, and the people that come in will be first 11 starters. Obviously, we rotate. But you know what I mean? It's not a squad player, it's a first team player. And it'll be a forward minded player. And a lot of people still say when I ask what position do you think we need? People sometimes say defenders. I don't think we don't need defenders right at this moment. That back line's locked. And the proof's in the pudding. We keep winning games 2-0. Listen, I know there's mistakes in there. There probably will be a big howler along the way, but that's football. And I'm glad to see we get 3 goals. I mean, people sometimes argue it was at the one at the end of the game, they were in injury time. So we chop them off then and don't count them. The game finished 3-0. I've also seen, sadly, people saying Olsen, I don't know, he's no good after playing 51 minutes of a 20-year career. Anyway, so I hope you're all, well, you will be, you'll all be happy. A spring in your step. From what I see in the news, I think that you're getting a cold snap. It's actually getting warmer here. Sorry about that. I love you all. I love this football club more than ever. This is amazing. Something I might do this. I might chat about this in a separate chat. During 9 in a row, we were spoiled, so the feeling kind of dulled. It did as each league on it kind of the feeling. It didn't go down, but you know what I mean. If you were around there, you expected to win. We all should always expect to win, but you know what I mean if you were around. Whereas now, we've got this Gersflix movie unfolding in front of our eyes, and this is going to be some victory, some league. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate and respect you all for if you've got this far. Cheers.